So the UFC is back this weekend again with another card, and this time we're in London town. Yes, UFC London fight night. Edwards versus Brady is going to go down. So let's just get into the card. First fight of the night is Guram Kutateladze versus Caio Fernandez. I'm going to go with Guram Kutateladze here. I think he should win this. He hasn't looked as great lately. He hasn't. He's had some competitive fights, but I actually really rate the win over Jordan Vucenic. I think that's a really good win. Brenner, he was teeing up on until he got the last minute comeback KO. And I thought he beat Damir Ismagulov, which is a really good win. And then obviously he's beat Mateus Gamrot. You know, he's a really good guy. His stint in the UFC doesn't speak to how good he actually is. Like, you look at these guys, he's beat some pretty good guys. He's a very good striker, very good takedown defense. And I think he'll win this fight. I don't really rate Fernandez too highly. Yeah, he won his last fight dominantly, but like Muhammad Yahya is a DEI higher. Like, he is the definition of a DEI higher. Because you look at this guy, Muhammad Yahya, and he's just awful. He's really bad. Anshul Jubli would beat this guy. He doesn't have any really good wins. He's lost to, like, not the greatest guys either. Like, he's lost to guys who they wouldn't put in the UFC for some reason. Like, why did they not sign Hassan Talal? Oh, okay, he went 4-3. This is what I'm saying though. Like, he is not fighting very good guys, and he has a bad gas tank, and he's just not very good. So I'm not going to rate Fernandez for demolishing Muhammad Yahya. You sort of should dominate Muhammad Yahya. So yeah, I'm gonna put Guram Kutateladze to get this one done. Probably by decision. I feel like this will be a back and forth scrap, but I feel like he will get his hand raised. So yeah, I'm going Guram Kutateladze. Fernandez isn't bad. Like, I'm not saying he's awful just because he beat Muhammad Yahya, who's awful. But I'm just saying I think Guram's just a bit better. So yeah, I'm gonna go Guram in this fight. Let's hope he's not like considerably injured, because the guy is very fragile. It feels like he's always injured. It feels like he's always got something wrong with him. So hopefully he's all good and he can go in there and have a good scrap and get it done. So yeah, I'm going Guram Kutateladze to have the Georgian wave to continue. The Georgians are on a fucking hell of a streak, and I think Guram's going to continue that trend. Then we have Colin Loughran versus Nathan Fletcher. These two actually fought many, many, many years ago in the amateur ranks, with Nathan Fletcher getting his hand raised against Colin Loughran. Obviously, you can't really make too much of it. This was 7 years ago, sorry. So you can't really, hold too much into that. But I do think that Nathan Fletcher will win this fight. I think he's better. I just think he's better than Colin Loughran. Very good fighter. Colin Loughran's durable, but I just don't think he's very good. That's what I'm going to say. Like, he's durable, but that's sort of all he's got going for him. Like, he's just a big guy, but I don't think he's like amazing anywhere. Yeah, he's got a solid chin though. He's got that like Drew Dober type build, where he's just a big, short, fucking brick shithouse. And like, he's got a fucking cinder block for a head. So yeah, I feel like this will be a competitive fight, back and forth, but I do think Nathan Fletcher will get his hand raised. Then we have Shauna Bannon versus Pooja Tumar. Oh my god, this is a tough fight to predict. I mean, Bannon won her last fight. That's okay. Like, that's good. Pooja Tumar got a robbery in her last fight. Like, she didn't win that fight. Like, yeah, she definitely didn't beat Rayan Amanda, but it's big for India. You know, they've got a fighter who's got to win, but yeah, I got to go with Shauna Bannon. No disrespect to the Indian fighters. I don't think Pooja Tumar is all that. You know, maybe they'll eventually have a good Indian fighter, but I don't think Pooja Tumar is that. Now, Shauna Bannon isn't like amazing by any means. Like, I'm not saying she's going to go on the destroyer, but she's bigger, got a longer reach. Yeah, and she's beat better level of competition, surely. Okay, yeah, no, he hasn't beat anyone crazy. Bruno Brazil is just awful, but again, I don't think Puja Tumar is that great. So I'm going to go Sean O'Bannon, but I'm not super confident on it. Then we have Audrey Puliev versus Christian Leroy Duncan. I'm going with Christian Leroy Duncan here. Uh, yeah, Andre Puliev. Most people just didn't expect this guy to win on Dana White Contender Series. Fair play, he won, but I think Christian Leroy Duncan's really good. I think he's had some iffy performances, but like he's a very good fighter. He's a very good striker. He's coming off a loss. He hasn't fought for a while since he lost to Gregory Rodriguez. So it's been quite a while. This is we don't really see Christian Leroy Duncan take this long of a layoff. Normally he's a pretty active dude. Beat Ribeiro, who's not really great. Beat Dennis Tuulin, not really that great. Beat Dusko Torodovic, he's not really that great. Like he hasn't been the greatest guys, because even if you look at the guys he's beat, like Will Curry, yeah, he won a Dana White Contender Series, but he lost. But like his amateur record is like what's more impressive. He's got a lot of experience, and I just don't think Audrey Puliev has anything for him. So I'm going to go Christian Leroy Duncan to get this one done. Ola Puliev, and plus Puliev's like oh, he's young. What the fuck? Sorry, like this guy is young. This guy's 27 years old. I thought this guy was like a super old dude. Okay, yeah, you know what? This guy could be pretty. I thought he was like 35. I thought he was like one of those, you know what, kid? You did enough. I'm gonna sign you, fucking type signing. But anyway, I'm still gonna go Christian Leroy Duncan. But yeah, Puliev's not bad, but like I just don't. I think Christian Leroy Duncan will get this one done. Then we have Marcin Tybura versus Mick Parkin. Oh, this is gonna. I'm gonna need. My brain power for this one. This one is gonna be a difficult one to predict. Mick Parkin is like really like he's actually good for an unranked. Well, I think he's ranked now, but he's actually good. He's had some iffy performances, like against Kaya Machado, which I don't like. Uh, yeah, like that fight was so weird. But I think Kaya Machado is like not actually that bad. Like I remember people saying he's like the worst fighter in the UFC and all this stuff, but I don't think he's that bad. Like I don't think Kaya Machado is that bad. I feel like he got robbed a lot. So he beat Muhammad Usman. Uh, yeah, he beat Muhammad Usman. Beat Lucas Bresky. He went out there and chinned him. It's so hard because Marcin Tybura. Like for fuck's sake, man. Like people always predict against him. He is a slight favorite here, but he can always get chinned. But I need to look at the Kaya Machado fight because that was like a sort of a bad decision to be honest. But I need to like remember the stats and shit. Okay. McParkin, alright, he defended a takedown. What about against Jamal Pokes? He defended a takedown. Okay, he's showing that he can defend takedowns. That's like competent, I guess, for a. But do I know enough to predict? You know what? He does seem pretty good. He does seem pretty good. He's not like a super athletic dude. And I feel like you need that to beat a Marcin Tybura. A Tybura is just going to sit on you. But he does seem to have good takedown defense. He is a good grappler. He's a lot younger as well. Marcin Tybura has taken a lot of damage, even against Greg Hardy. I know this fight was ages ago. It's a very niche reference, but like he took a lot of damage. Spivak just destroyed him. He beat. Okay, he's coming off a win. Normally he win ones and loses ones. So I'm just gonna based on that, I'm gonna go Mick Parkin. I'm not super confident on this pick. I feel like I'm gonna regret picking Mick Parkin, but I don't know. It's in England. I feel like if it's close, they'll just give it to Mick Parkin. So I'm gonna Mick Parkin by robbery decision. Yeah, that's my prediction. Mick Parkin by potential robbery decision. Then we have Lona Kavanagh versus Felipe dos Santos. This is a tough one because Lona Kavanagh didn't look like that great in his debut, but maybe that guy he fought was just really fucking good. That he fought another undefeated guy. Felipe dos Santos is like a shoot box guy, moves forward, fights very similar to Oliveira. In certain fights, like against Manel Cape, he brought that, but since then he hasn't really looked all that. Like he looked pretty, meh in his last few performances. But he can be entertaining, he can be fun. I'm gonna go Lona Kavanagh though. I just feel like he should win this. Probably by another decision. This is another durable guy. So I feel like Lona Kavanagh will probably get another decision, and then he's going to start getting KOs in his next couple fights. But I feel like this is going to be one where he gets a decision over Felipe dos Santos. But Felipe dos Santos can be hit. He's got very bad defense, but he just moves forward, chads it out a little bit. But I think Lona Kavanagh will just keep catching him. Then we have Jai Herbert versus Chris Padilla. Chris fucking Padilla. Taco Padilla just keeps fucking winning, doesn't he? I keep picking against him and he keeps winning. I don't understand. He's got one of the craziest UFC careers. I picked James Lontop against him. He beat him. I picked Zhu Rong Zhu. He beat him. And I'm not bucking the trend. I'm picking Jai Herbert. I think Jai Herbert will win this. He's got good takedown defense typically. I think his last fight was a bit iffy. He fought the Algerian. No, he won. He beat Rolando Padilla. But him against Faresi Zam, like I don't even mind that, to be honest. Like Faresi Zam is actually really good. Like he's improved so much since he got re-signed to the UFC. I know he didn't go and fight anywhere else, but he got re-signed. And he did defend a lot of takedowns against Faresi Zam. Faresi Zam is like a pretty strong dude. Yeah, he's got pretty good takedown defense. I feel like this fight will stay standing, and then I feel like he's the much better striker. Like this is a guy who had like a very very competitive fight, which he should have won, but he got a point taken against Ludovic Klein. Like Ludovic Klein's legit, and he went to a draw with Ludovic Klein. Like, are you kidding me? Of course I'm going to pick him. Beat Kyle Nelson as well, who was shit, has no chin, but did actually go on a weird win streak afterwards and was booked against Calvin Guitar at one point. And then obviously he got knocked out by Ilia Topuria, but he actually knocked Ilia Topuria down. Like, he's come the closest to knocking out Ilia in the UFC. So, yeah, obviously that's Ilia moving up. He's a smaller featherweight going up. Well, not smaller featherweight, but he's a featherweight moving up. But still, that's impressive for Jai Herbert. It's a weird matchup though, just because of the size. But I feel like he'll beat Chris Padilla. Chris Padilla is good. He's like one of those like really veteran savvy guys who comes into the UFC, sort of like Chris Curtis. He's durable. He's never been finished by strikes, been subbed. But I don't know. I feel like Jai Herbert's gonna put that muscle on him a little bit. I feel like he's gonna land a lot of big shots and maybe not get him out of there. But I feel like Jai Herbert's gonna win this. Then we have Nathaniel Wood versus Morgan Charriere. Interesting odds, to be honest with you. I like Nathaniel Wood in this fight, to be honest. I think Nathaniel Wood will win this. I think Morgan Charriere is like good. He's fun, entertaining. But I think Nathaniel Wood beat Muhammad Naimov. I thought he won that fight. He should have. Well, I mean, he should have just done point deductions. And he's actually really good at featherweight. Morgan Charriere is also very good. Obviously, had a very competitive fight with Shepe Mariscal. Then he chinned Gabriel Miranda. Been out for a little bit. They've sort of given him some layups in the UFC and even just to get to the UFC. And then he's lost to a lot of the better guys he's fought. And I think Nathaniel Wood will win this fight. I like Nathaniel Wood in this fight. I think he can mix up the grappling if he really wants to. And I just feel like he's got the better level of competition. He's beat good guys. He's very underrated. Nathaniel Wood is very underrated. Like, this guy was a ranked bantamweight. Like, that tells me all you got to know about his skill set. He's very good. And he seems to be a bit more durable in the featherweight division. So I'm going to take Nathaniel Wood to beat Morgan Charriere. Then we have Jordan Vishenik, versus Chris Duncan. I'm going with Jordan Vucenic to win this. I really like this fight for him. He's the first transracial UFC fighter. If you look at Jordan, he's not white. Like, this doesn't even speak to how much tattoo he's got now, but he's not a white man anymore. He's pure fucking ink. He's as black as it can be now. But his tattoos all cool and everything like that. Like, it's a cool look. His nickname's the Epidemic, which is a pretty cool nickname, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I really like Jordan Vucenic to get this one done in this fight. I think he's going to be able to piece up Chris Duncan a little bit. I feel like he can mix up the grappling here. And Chris Duncan is good, but I feel like his chin is just a bit sus sometimes. I mean, he's very good. Like, Chris Duncan is a very good guy, to be honest. But I think Jordan Vucenic will be able to get this one done. But, Chris Duncan always has these weird performances where he's like, even against Manel Torres, he gave it a fucking like a good shot. He landed a really good shot on Manel Torres, hurt him, beat Yanal Ashmuz. The Omar Morales fight was so weird. That was like a really bad performance. But then then his next few fights he like leveled up. So maybe that was just UFC jitters. But I rate Vucenic. Dropped Guram Kutaledze. I think Guram's really good. Crazy's like higher up on the card. I guess it is in the UK, so I guess that's fair enough. But Guram did beat him. But yeah, I'm gonna go Jordan Vucenic to get this one done over Chris Duncan. Then we have Molly McCann versus Alexia Faninera. Her only loss is to Bruna Brazil. You know who else lost to Bruna Brazil? Molly McCann. I think she did. No, yeah, she did. She got subbed. I don't really know too much about this Alexa. Okay, yeah, she lost to Bruna Brazil and she just got dominated in that fight. She beat Diana Belbita, but like Diana Belbita, she got subbed by Storyalenko, got subbed by Aaron Blanchford. The Blanchford one, understandable, but I don't know, man. Like, I think she's got a few subs. She has subs. That might just be enough to win this fight in my eyes. She can get subs. Yeah, that just might do it for me. She's also got a big reach. I don't know how her striking is, but she's the number one ranked woman in Brazil. Yeah. And you got a fact. What the fuck is that? Okay, anyway, I'm going to move on after. I'm not going to make any comments here. But I just I thought it was a guy at first. But anyway, sorry, that's really disrespectful. To Diane Monster. I mean, her nickname's Monster, okay? She knew what she was getting into. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Alexia Fainera. Like, she's the number one ranked woman in Brazil. Look at how good the women fighters in Brazil are. I mean, that's just swayed me, really. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Alexia. Plus, like, Molly McCann just doesn't have takedown defense or grappling defense. She's a lot older. I don't think she's going to improve at this point. So I'm going to go Alexia to get this one done. Then we have Kevin Holland versus Gunnar Nelson. Part of me really just wants to go with Gunnar Nelson, just like sub, because, I mean, fucking Kevin Holland just doesn't seem to give a shit about his career. But I actually think this is a matchup he really can win. Gunnar Nelson, this is a thing people might forget about Gunnar Nelson. It isn't brought up very often. But Gunnar Nelson doesn't cut any weight. Like, this guy is fucking one of the smallest welterweights of all time. Like, this guy just doesn't cut any weight. I think he's actually weighed in a few times under the 77 kgs. Like this guy doesn't believe in weight cutting at all. Kevin Holland's gonna be a lot bigger. He seems to be really good against grapplers when he fights a welterweight. I mean, he beat Michael Chiesa. Like, that is a very good win. Like, that is a win you can't shit on. Like, he beat Michael Chiesa, who's now on a win streak. I remember he was saying afterwards that Michael Chiesa should retire and all this. Now he's on a 2-fight losing streak. And Michael Chiesa is on a 2-fight winning streak over, Tony Ferguson. But Max Griffin's a solid win. So, yeah, it's just all about perspective. But I think Gunnar Nelson is going to get chinned here. Gunnar Nelson's good. Got a karate base, but he's so much older now. He does look after his body, though, because he doesn't cut weight. So maybe, he can still hang. But he's also just so inactive. Hasn't fought since 2023. Like, he's been out for 2 years. He just disappears for a couple years and then just reappears. Like, then he fought Takashi Sato in 2022, where he didn't look that great in that performance, but he did get it done. And then he lost to Gilbert Burns, 3 years before. Like, what is Gunnar Nelson doing in his spare time? Like, where is he disappearing to all this time? But yeah, I'm gonna go Kevin Holland. I think Kevin Holland will get this one done over Gunnar Nelson. I'm gonna go by KO. I think he's gonna catch him. Then we have Jan Blachowicz versus Carlos Olberg. Oh my god. This is a tough one to predict, man. This is so tough because Jan Blachowicz is really fucking good. Like he is actually so good, and his performances age so well. His performance over Alex Pereira ages well, where he had a lot of success in that fight. He got more takedowns than Ankalaev did. Then against Ankalaev, he went to a draw with the current champ. So he went to a split decision with the former champ, went to a draw with the current champ, and his leg kicks are fucking made of steel because he took the legs out of Ankalaev. Even Pereira didn't do that. Olberg's not really a grappler, but he's so much more athletic than modern day Jan Blachowicz. Jan is 42. He's been out for 2 years. The athleticism is going to be crazy. But Jan is a better striker, I feel like. But Olberg has got the momentum. He's younger. I feel like these two fights are actually so hard for me to predict. Like watching the tape, like Carlos Olberg was getting touched a little bit by Volkan Oezdemir, I reckon. Oh, you know what? Because even against Rakic, Jan was doing good before, he just injured his fucking leg. I really want to pick Jan. But then he was going to fight in January 2024. And didn't he tear his fucking ACL? Shoulder injury. I think he dealt with some more injuries. He's 42. I'm going to go Carlos Olberg. Age, youth, momentum. In their prime, though, Jan Blachowicz wins this fight all day. But I'm going to go with Carlos Olberg. Yeah, I think he'll get this. Not by KO or anything. I think he'll win a pretty, I think he'll win a decision here. I don't think he's going to chin Jan Blachowicz. And Jan could definitely just beat the fuck out of him. But I'm going to go Carlos Olberg. I'm going to regret this, I feel like. Then we have Leon Rocky Edwards versus Sean Brady. Now, this is interesting. I've never picked Sean Brady to win his recent fights. I didn't pick him against Gilbert Burns. I didn't pick him against Kelvin Gastelum. Leon Edwards, I've never rated. I've never thought Leon Edwards was actually this crazy striker and everything. People act like he is one of the top 3 best strikers in the world at some point. He got the head kick over Usman, but yeah, it's just this is so tough for me to predict. Sean Brady's tough. He's a brick shithouse, but his striking defense is really, really bad. But Leon Edwards was preparing for Jack Della Maddalena, and now he's getting fucking Sean Brady. Are you fucking kidding me? That is one of the most unfortunate change-ups of styles I've ever seen. Come on, man. You're going to be getting this move forward, box you up type of guy. You're not, he doesn't shoot takedowns. And now you're fighting Sean Brady, who just doesn't stop shooting takedowns. Are you kidding me? This... Leon's got the same manager as JDM. Could they not have got him, couldn't they have got him as some fucking better matchup than fucking Sean Brady? I feel like if you give him a full camp, I think Leon's been able to stuff the takedowns. I think he's piecing Sean Brady up. But on short notice, when you're preparing for Jack Della Maddalena, I got to go with Sean Brady. I think Brady's going to win this. I don't say that lightly. I feel like couldn't they have given Leon Edwards fucking Carlos Prates? Prates was literally waiting. He said he was preparing for whoever wins that fight, he will fight. If somebody pulls out, and then they go and get Sean Brady. You couldn't have done Carlos Prates. You couldn't have pulled him for this fight. This would have been so much better for you. I mean, Carlos Prates could just knock him out, to be fair. But Sean Brady, he's competent enough on the feet to where he can worry Leon Edwards. Leon Edwards doesn't have a great chin. I know he's never been knocked out, so people be like, "Oh, he's never been knocked out," but he's been hurt a lot. He's been hurt badly a few times. Sean Brady's a short, stocky dude. He's built like Bilal. He is literally built like Bilal. Has a longer reach, more of a kicker. But he's got a left hook. He's got a decent hook. Uh, he's not as competent on the feet as Bilal. Bilal's got a pressure boxing style where can sort of break people, but Sean Brady can just shoot takedown after takedown. He shoots very similar takedowns to Bilal, but I feel like uh, he's a bit slower. Maybe not slower, but I don't know the word I'm looking for. Like he's not as good as a takedown artist as Bilal, but he's got more. He's got better submissions. He's got better ground and pound. I feel like he's more competent once the fight gets to the ground, but he's not. It's not as easy for him to get it to the ground. But I feel like if he gets it to the ground, he could just like arm triangle Leon Edwards. Even on the feet with the takedown threat, like Leon could just get caught with like a hook where he's like sort of wobbled on the feet. I could see that honestly. I could see the scenario because I thought JDM was going to knock Leon Edwards the fuck out. I'm not going to lie to you. And now he's fighting Sean Brady, who isn't as good of a striker, but he's a very good grappler. Pressures forward with takedowns. Seems to have really good cardio. I could see Leon like piecing him up, towards the end maybe if he can like. But Leon stays on the back foot. He doesn't move forward. I feel like to beat Sean Brady, you got to do what Bilal does. You have to move forward. You have to stay in his face. You need to gas him out. Leon Edwards is just going to stay on the back foot. He's going to kick and teep. He's going to shoot, probably go for a teep, get taken down, and he's probably just he's going to stay there probably. Like he's got good takedown defense, but his get ups aren't all that. If he gets taken down, he's probably spending most of the round there. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to go Sean Brady. It's a tough fight to predict, but I like just on short notice. I think this favors Sean Brady. So yeah, I'm going Sean Brady to beat Leon Edwards. But those are my picks for UFC Fight Night: Edwards versus Brady. Let me know who you guys have, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.